I'm Tanya from Simple First Aid, and this is today's first aid topic. We're going to talk about sepsis. So what is sepsis? Who it affects? What are the signs and symptoms? And what is the treatment? Now, it is quite similar symptoms to meningitis. So if you do look back onto my previous videos, you will see a video on meningitis and what signs and symptoms to look out for. So they are very similar, but don't get confused. There's some differences as well. So what is sepsis? So it also may be called septicemia or blood poisoning that you might have heard of. It's not contagious, so you can't catch it from somebody else, but it is life-threatening. We do need to get treatment as soon as possible. So who it affects, so it can affect people over the age of 75, it can affect premature babies, it can affect women that have just given birth or had a miscarriage or an abortion. It can affect people that have diabetes, it can affect people who have weakened immune systems, and or people that have had some sort of surgery like chemotherapy. So those are just the higher risk areas to look out for. So what signs and symptoms you will see is somebody who's quite disorientated, maybe slurred speech. They may have a rash around the area. So you would use a glass like you would on the meningitis test, so roll a glass over it and it wouldn't disappear. You'll see, yeah, they'll feel really quite unwell. They might have had an infection, a bug previously, and then that could also affect if they've got any sort of open wounds as well. So make sure if you do have any open wounds, keep them clean. And then what you need to do is you do need to call 999 and get help as soon as possible. So when you get to the hospital, they will be putting you on different treatments of antibiotics. So you can survive from sepsis, but again, depending on how quickly you get the treatment, because as soon as it starts to go from the blood poisoning to then affecting the vital organs, once they shut down those and they start to fail, that's when potential death can happen. So it's really important to get hold of 999 as quickly as possible for treatment for sepsis. But as I said, it's not contagious. It affects the certain groups of people, so just be aware if you are one of those, and especially around pregnancy as well, and newborn babies. With them, that you might also hear a high-pitched cry because they'll be quite distressed as well and in pain. So yeah, please do call 999 as quickly as possible, and or get yourself to the hospital, and then we can treat you from there. And then there's a lot more treatment you can do from there. And people, as I said, mentioned, do survive from sepsis, but it's most important to get treatment as quickly as possible. But if you do want more information on sepsis and in more detail, please do go over to the NHS website, and they've got a great breakdown of who it affects, and what other treatments and what other things to look out for. So yeah, do check out the NHS website. So thank you for today, and hopefully that was helpful, and see you next week.